Whether you follow football or not, I promise you at the end of this video, you'll be able to understand what is going on between Senegal, Morocco, and CAF at the moment. In fact, when you hear people talking about it or having this discussion anywhere, you'll be able to make an informed contribution because you'll be well grounded with information and knowledge. Just make sure that you watch this video till the end. So CAF decided to strip Senegal of the 2025 Afcon title and award it to the host nation, Morocco. And this has raised lots of mixed reactions right now across board. Many people reacting logically, technically, and even emotionally. But let's really break down the complexities and try to address so many unanswered questions in the mind of people, because I know you have questions in your mind that you want to be addressed. So first of all, we'll talk about the verdict of the appeal body of CAF. But before we talk about the verdict, let's quickly give a recap of what happened in the finals of the Nations Cup, because we know it was very chaotic, filled with loads of fracas. In that finals between Morocco and Senegal, towards the end of the game, the referee awarded a penalty to the host nation, Morocco, after reviewing it on the VAR. But Senegal, that decision didn't go down well with them. They decided to leave the field for over 10 minutes. It was only the captain, Sadio Mane, who was on the pitch, beckoning on the players to come back. So when the players decided to come back to restart the game, the referee awarded the penalty to Morocco. Brahim Diaz of Morocco took the penalty, attempted a panicker and missed it, and the game proceeded to extra time. During the extra time, that was when Papa Gueye of Senegal scored the only goal of the final, which crowned Senegal the champions of the African Cup of Nations. Now, it is very important for us to know that for every competition, for every event, we have rules and regulations that guide that event. And CAF have decided to activate Article 82 and 84 of the regulation of the African Cup of Nations in drawing their verdict for this particular issue. Now, when we talk about Article 82 of the regulation of the African Cup of Nations, it has to do with the offense, while the Article 84 talks about the punishment. So let's really take a look at the Article 82 and see what it says. According to Article 82 of the regulation of the African Cup of Nations, if a team refuses to start a match or refuses to continue playing or leaves the pitch before the end of the game without the permission of the referee, that team is considered to have abandoned the game. In other words, they have decided to forfeit the game. This is the offense in Article 82. Now let's look at the punishment in Article 84. Any team that abandons the match, that is what happened in Article 82, the team will lose the game by 3-0. That is, they forfeited that game. For everybody that follows football, you know that the forfeit scoreline of every game is always 3-0. Now, going back to Article 82, did Senegal refuse to continue playing at any point of the game? The answer is yes. Did Senegal leave the pitch before the end of the game without the referee's permission? The answer is yes. So, judging by this offense of Senegal, CAF have decided to activate the punishment of giving them a 3-0 forfeiture of that game. That is, awarding 3-0 to Morocco for that particular game, because it's assumed that Senegal abandoned the game. Now, you have to take cognizance of something which is very important. There is no place in this article that they mention minutes. Now, people need to understand that. There was no place that they mentioned if a team leaves the pitch after 2 minutes, after 3 minutes, after... No. For the fact that a team have left the pitch without the authorization of the referee, it is deemed that the team has abandoned the game. They decided to forfeit the game according to the regulation. I am not the one that wrote it. So now that we've understood the Article 82 and Article 84, let's go a notch higher. A senior colleague of mine, I read his tweet on X. He started a debate where he said that the appeal body of CAF, they do not have the right to actually overturn a result that the referee has decided after the completion of a game. Which means if a game has ended after the regulation time and has been decided by the referee, the appeal body, they have no right to overturn that result. Is he right? He is actually right, but there's a caveat to that. Now, if you take a look at the Law 5 of the International Football Association Board, that is the law that guides football around the world, the same law that every confederation mirrors to also, build their own constitution. In Law 5 of that law, which centers on the referee, that law states that the referee has the final say when it comes to the final result of a game, when it comes to goals, when it comes to fouls, when it comes to penalties or VAR. The referee has the final say. Invariably, that is saying that at the end of every game, in as much the referee has blown the final whistle, there is nothing anybody can do about the result. If they deem it that the referee made a mistake or anything like that, The only thing that they can do is to sanction the referee but not change the result of the game, according to the Law 5 of the International Football Association Board law, which is a universal law for the game. So this is where my senior colleague is actually correct. But this law was actually built to protect the decision of the referee. So get that straight. This law was built to protect the decision of the referee so that we'll not just be changing results left, right, and center. But at the same time, it is not protecting the misconduct of the players outside normal play. I want you to follow me because I want it to be as simple as possible so that everybody will understand. The Law 5 of the I-5 law or the I-5 rule is protecting the decision of the referee, but it is not protecting the misconduct of the players outside normal game. Let me also put it in another way. The referee controls the outcome of the game, but the owners of the competition controls the competition. I don't know if you understand. I'm trying to make it very simple. The referee controls the normal game, but the owners of the competition controls the competition. So that means that when the referee officiates a game, at the end of it, the result stands. But the owners of the competition can decide to take a look at other things that happen in the game that could actually bring a dent to the competition. And when they see some sort of, abnormalities that happen, they can still call that back. And that is why we have regulation. That's why we have boardrooms. We have appeal bodies and panels. So it doesn't mean that the referee's decision will be overturned. But at the end of the day, the owners of the competition can still decide to overturn a result if there is a misconduct that happened outside normal time. And that is why CAF have decided to activate Article 82 and Article 84, because there was a misconduct that happened outside the normal game, and it has a punishment, which is what they've meted to Senegal. I don't know if you understand what is going on here. Although Senegal can decide to go to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and they will somehow find another verdict for this. But for the rule of CAF, whatever Senegal did in that final warranted this punishment that they are getting. Now, there is another question that people are asking. Okay, you said that when the whole team goes out of the field, it is assumed that they've abandoned the game, but there was Sadio Mane who was standing on the pitch. That means that we still had a team player on the field of play. You can actually be right. But let's also take a look at the law of the game. If you take a look at Law 3 of the International Football Association Board, which is a universal law for the game that has to do with the players and their conduct, it states that for a play to restart or for a game to continue, a team must have at least 7 players on the field for the game to restart. I'm trying to make it very simple so that I will carry everybody along. For a game to restart, you must have at least 7 players on the field of play. That is according to Law 3 of the game. Now, if we are putting this into consideration, Sadio Mane standing on the pitch alone didn't meet the requirement of the number of players needed to restart the game. Because according to the law, if you have 6 or less players on the field, you cannot restart that game. So invariably, in as much as Sadio Mane was still standing on that pitch, for the fact that he didn't meet up the requirement of the number of players of Senegal to restart the game, he still adjudged that Senegal left the pitch because it's a team game. It is not a personal game. It's not a one-man game. It's a team sport. So it is assumed or it's adjudged that Senegal team left the field, regardless of Sadio Mane being on the pitch, and this is according to the rules. So I wanted to make all these things very clear that every offense has its punishment, and every organization or every competition has rules. So don't be emotional about it. When you are discussing with somebody, make sure you quote the law that is applicable to this, which is 82 and 84. And for the referee's decision, some people are saying the referee made a mistake. He should have stopped the game when the team walked out of the field. He should have ended the game. But for him to allow the game to continue to the end of it, that's the mistake of the referee, no doubt. But regardless, the owners of the competition can still look at the misconduct of Senegal and say, no, this can cause a dent to our competition. And that's why they are taking the necessary precaution to make sure that such a thing is dealt with and it doesn't repeat itself again in the competition. And for the people saying Sadio Mane was on the pitch, you must have at least 7 players on the field for a game to restart or for a game to continue. My job is to make sure I educate you and inform you, so that you'll be well informed when you're having conversation. You'll be able to say it the right way and not be emotional about it. I'll be right back in the next video to actually talk about Nigeria's issue with DR Congo, which FIFA have decided to fling out of the window because it doesn't have any merit. I'll talk about that in my next video. But if you still have any unanswered question about what is going on between Senegal and Morocco, what just happened, do well to drop it in the comment section and I will attend to that. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.